Well, are we
Ready?
in the frame, sister?
I don't know. Right now we got the clapper going. Ready?
Clap this.
And action.
We are in the frame. Imagine my surprise.
Of course we're in the frame. I set up the chairs so that we would be in the frame.
I'm so impressed. So, Vinny, tomorrow, you'll see this video on, oh, geez, sorry. Get myself together. You'll see this video on Friday, the 29th of March, and on Saturday, the 30th of March, would be Van Gogh's fill in the blank, some number of birthdays, and we thought that it would be fun to pay our respects.
100 and something.
A bit.
Yeah.
He makes me feel young.
Yes. Well, yes. He makes you look young too.
Right? Me and a corpse. I'm going to look a little better.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Vincent Van Gogh.
Yeah.
We thought it would be kind of fun to bring back some of the Van Gogh stencils, masks, and foam stamps that I designed eons ago.
It's been a little bit. And not only are we bringing them back, well, it's not like they've been gone, but we're bringing your attention back to them. We're going to put them on sale. All the Van Gogh stuff that Elizabeth has designed, so it would be stencils, masks, and foam stamps, are going to be 25% off.
Van Gogh sale. What could be better?
Van Gogh-tastic. That was a horrible pun.
Yes.
So we're going to play. I'm going to play with the mask that's named Star Spirals, and Elizabeth has the foam stamp that is named, oh crap, Twinkling Stars and Moon, I think is what it is.
Twinkling Stars and Moon foam stamp.
Yeah, and this is just, I want to say that there are, I don't know, 8, 9 maybe stencils and masks, something like that, and there were a handful of foam stamps. So there's certainly options. There's plenty of things to choose from.
I can remember a handful of better than I can remember 9.
I know, right? Yeah.
A few.
And I'm only taking a wild guess here. So because this is Vinny's birthday, we decided that we needed to make cards. So I took, this is wet strength tissue, and I'm not using it for the wet strength in the tissue. It was laying around, so I grabbed it. So I sprayed over, actually, let me take that back. I had to think about that. I sprayed over the mask, and that's what I got. And because Van Gogh's colors are yellow and blue, I kind of got some green too.
You got green.
Yeah, and then I pressed the remains of what was on the mask on another piece of wet strength tissue to get that. And you'll see me, I'm gonna sticky stuff it, sticky stuff it, yes.
Sticky stuff it.
Yeah, that just threw me to this panel card. And then
I love the envelope.
yeah, you do the envelope too. It's kind of fun. The front is a mess. We're just going to ignore that for now.
Well, so are your fingers and your hands.
Sure enough, we've been ankle deep and sometimes elbow deep in media today. So
This is the mark of the artist, however, we decided.
Yes.
And we also decided that your friends and family would be pleased to get a card, and so would Vincent Van Gogh, whether it had fingerprints on it or not. We're not striving for perfection. Seriously,
we are achieving not
achieving not perfection, but really, when was the last time anyone sent you a handmade and handwritten and hand fingerprinted card in the mail?
That's right.
Probably hardly ever. So if you send a handmade written card, no one's going to notice the fingerprints. They're just going to be glad you thought about
I'm
them.
going to show them your card.
Oh yeah, right. Speaking of cards. Okay, bossy. So here's my card. I made a 5x7 card. I used the foam stamp, some mixed media background, and some fun postage stamps to make my Vincent Van Gogh card. And I'm going to send it to you, maybe.
Be better than what she sent me for Christmas last year.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole other story about
That's
that.
a whole other story.
Yeah,
and
you even need to listen to.
There are some fingerprints in there as well. And a shadow being cast from something.
Darn.
Darn it.
All right, shall we go do something?
Yes, let's
All
go
right.
do something.
All right.
Okay, so I say that at the front of every video. I have to
do.
stop saying that. Okay, pause. Today, I am making a birthday card for Vincent Van Gogh because his birthday is tomorrow. And I thought that would be kind of fun. So, before I forget, let me grab this. What I'm working on, the base of my 5x7 birthday card to Vincent. How cool is this going to be? This is one of my mixed media backgrounds rice papers from Joggles. So these come in sort of a neutral color palette. And there's many different designs of them. I don't know how many, but there's several.
I think in that release there were 6.
6, okay. Good thing the voice of reason is here. So what I did was I took one of them and I gel printed it with just a flood of yellow because I want to make this card in the tones of yellow and blue, which is the Vincent Van Gogh sort of color palette. And also it sort of brightened this up and gave it a little extra pizzazz, right? So I've also got my Princeton Catalyst number 8 short handle filbert glue brush because I'm going to be gluing a few things on the surface of this. I've got some canceled postage stamps, and I picked out a nice dark blue. I think this is a Prussian blue. And I'm going to use some matte gel medium. So my card, I used sticky stuff to adhere the mixed media rice paper background after it was gel printed right to the front of this card. Actually, Barb helped me with cutting it because she's a lot more precise and patient than I am.
Oh, it's a low bar to hurdle, though, because I'm not particularly precise or patient, but, you know.
Either or. So, and this is my, I don't know what it's called, Stars and Moons Vincent Van Gogh collection foam stamp. And so I'm going to take my 5x7 gel plate and I'm going to put this nice dark blue on there. And you might think that I'm going to foam stamp right onto the surface of my card. But Barb spent so much time accurately cutting and adhering, and I spent so much time gel printing this card that I'm a little afraid to stamp directly on the card. So what I'm going to do, because what if I put it in the wrong place? Or what if I don't get a complete stamp? You know, sometimes that happens. You don't get a complete impression. So I'm going to put this on my gel plate, a little thicker than you would normally apply paint. And I'm going to put the foam stamp in, and I am going to transfer it to wet strength tissue paper. Ooh, that came out good. But we have a little, you know, not coverage there. That doesn't bother me, but it might bother you if you wanted it to be perfect. So we're going to print a couple of these, and we're going to pick the one we like the best. All right. So let's smooth this out. Let's roll that right on that moon that doesn't seem to be wanting to get full coverage. And this one. Oh, that's better.
There you go.
Yep.
That's your doer.
Okay, that's my one. So now I did it all on the wet strength tissue. So I don't have to worry that my first one wasn't perfect and then it's on the cover of my card and Vincent Van Gogh's not going to be happy. So luckily the scissors are easily accessible. So now I'm going to cut this out close to the design, but it doesn't have to be perfect.
Would you like me to grab you the hairdryer so we can quickly dry that?
Oh, sure. Sometimes it's easier to get it small first.
Well, I would, except that it is several arm lengths down from me.
All right, I'm going to quickly dry this. You remember that the movie Risky Business? Remember when he had that party and he trashed the entire house and then he had to clean it all up before his parents got home?
Yeah.
I think Ferris Bueller was a little bit along those lines, but it was with the car. But anyway, it's like that.
Yes.
When Barb leaves here, she'll have it all picked up.
Yes.
I don't have to do any of that. I just go home. Okay. So
I so got hosed on that one.
so now we get to figure out on this layout, where am I going to put this moon and which direction do I want it to go in? I like things to face right.
I think you then should face them right.
I think things face right. We read, left to right, and then it, anyway. But that's a personal preference. And then what do I want to cover up in here? And do I want it to go vertical or horizontal? Yada, yada. I think horizontal. I think somewhere over here. I got to make sure that's dry, though, Barb. And it still feels like it's wet. Hold, please.
So we're resorting to watching paint dry at this point.
Gosh, the funny thing is, when you're trying to work with this and get things done before it dries, it's a mad dash panic. And then, on the other hand, when you want it to dry, it takes forever. Okay, so I am gonna, this is my favorite part right here. So I might like to put it up there because I'm going to add these postage stamps. So I could maybe add those over here and I could put this up in that area that's dense. Maybe that's where I want to put it. But, thanks to the wet strength tissue, I don't even have to commit to where I want to put it because it's repositionable.
Do you have a commitment phobia?
I do. I have a fear of commitment. So I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to angle it like that. See how I feel about it. Squeeze out a bunch of gel medium on top of it. Hope that it's not going to bleed because it's not dry enough. Okay. So I'm going to put this down like this. I think it's not bleeding. That's good. And then I'm going to say, now I could do this the same on a piece of mixed media artwork, decide where I want to have this stamp, and then say, you know what, I think I need it to be down a little lower. So now, unlike regular tissue, you're going to love this. I can just peel this right off, despite the gel medium on top and below it, and I can move it so I can put it someplace else. So I'm going to angle it a little bit like this and move it a little lower. So I have done this and moved the item 2 and 3 and 4 times with gel medium over the top every time, and the paper has never torn. So it is bleeding a little bit.
I won't tell anybody if you don't.
It's just because we didn't have the patience to wait. But I'm pressing the medium. It's gonna go all the way through. So eventually when that dries, it's all gonna disappear, blend into the background. And you saw it here first. I moved it around. At least I moved it around once, but like I said, you can move it around many times because it is so strong. And now I'm gonna add my postage stamps. Put that one here. I picked yellow and blue to go with the theme, I think. And I also like the fact that this has already got postage stamps and airmail and daishas. So I'm gonna put this one over here. I think there. And I'm just having fun making a little birthday card here. Put another...
Because who loves Vinny like us?
Right? He deserves it. Vincent Van Gogh sold, I think it was 1 painting in his entire lifetime. And he was supported financially by his brother, Theo. And they died 6 months apart. Vincent died first, and 6 months later, his brother died.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it was actually his brother's wife, Vincent's sister-in-law, who continued to push and promote his artwork after the death of both Vincent and her husband, his brother. And they credit her with bringing his work to the, acclaim that it has, because she didn't give up. She believed that he was an incredible artist, and she continued to promote and present his work to galleries after his death.
So she was just the best sister-in-law ever.
She was the best sister-in-law ever. Look at how cool that is.
It is. Very
So,
cool.
repositionable wet strength tissue paper, fear of commitment, no worries. Stamp it till you get a good one, the one that you like. Cut that out, move it around, put it where you want it, and voila, happy birthday, Vincent Van Gogh.
As Elizabeth has mentioned, yellow and blue were really Van Gogh colors, and I tried really hard to not make it become green, but that is the nature of the beast. So although I have some blue in here, there's a fair amount of green too. And what I started with was her stencil named Starry Spirals. I've got a couple of yellow envelopes because, again, yellow and blue, and then I've done a little bit of spraying. So this one is a little bit more blue, but we've got background here going on that picks up that blue. And so I sprayed over the mask, and then I turned it over here, and I went and I printed it. So I'm gonna kind of show you that now, and then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna take one of these. This is on wet strength tissue, and I'm gonna adhere it to a panel card. So I'm just gonna grab an envelope, and I'm going to put the Starry Spirals on it. Let's get that flap laying down a little bit better. And we'll kind of artfully arrange the Starry Spirals. Now I'm spraying over the flap, so I don't anticipate a problem with that. Since the card is yellow, since the envelope is yellow, I'm just gonna stick, this is Juniper Berry, and this is Shiny Bauble. So I'm gonna go with blue and a little bit of turquoise, because we wouldn't wanna do anything too predictable. That just can't happen. So when I work with these sprays, one of the things that I'm reasonably careful to do is I just want to spray this orifice so that nothing dries in here before I can clean it off and put it away. So we'll just get rid of that, and we'll mop up this water. So now I have this mask, and I need to pick it up, and I'm just gonna do it like this. So now I have the starry spirals on the envelope. Again, it all ties in, and we've got yellow and blue with a little bit of turquoise thrown in for fun. Of course, you're not really gonna see the shimmer in this until it dries. But in the meantime, I'm going to put that over here, and let's wipe this up. And then I'm going to print on this one. I'll print what's left on the stencil, excuse me, on the mask on the back. When you do this, and I say this all the time, but when you do this, your goal is to take and apply some pressure so that the liquid that's on the back side of that mask transfers to the surface that you're working on rather. All right, so now if we pick this up, and there we go. How pretty is that?
Beautiful.
And of course, when you lift this flap up, just like on the other one, it'll be plain under there. So let's move all of this out of the way. And then I have a number 10 panel card. It's watercolor, so I'm working with white. I've got it all prepped and ready to go. I've already got sticky stuff on there. And I'm going to bring in the print, and I'm going to put this on here, and this is going to be my Happy Birthday Vinny birthday card for him. So I'm just going to peel this off, and then I'm going to peel this off. You can see Elizabeth's dirty fingers. She was handling this before I used it, and it's her dirty fingerprints. Because, you know, I'm going to throw her under the bus. That looks good to me. I'm just going to go ahead and press it on. Now, this is wet strength tissue, and I'm not using it wet, and I am using it with sticky stuff. So this is a one and done. I don't get the opportunity to pick this up and use it again. So if I'm just going to kind of fold this back, and we'll pretend that we can see what it looks like, that this would essentially be what my card would look like. And what I did was I took the same colors of the distress spray stains, and I just put it on the back, because confetti feeling like stuff like that feels birthday-ish to me. So simple to do with the Van Gogh stencils / masks / foam stamps. You have fodder for all kinds of things. And you know, the nice thing is these make masculine cards too. They're not tons of flowers, and they're motifs that transfer across gender. So you can make something for pretty much anyone. Push the button, Gracie.
Yeah, there we go. So that was fun and exciting.
Yeah, happy birthday, Vinny. You know, I mean, any excuse to play is a good excuse. And when Elizabeth said we should really do something for Van Gogh's birthday, and it worked out okay because this is the day before, and so we hope you have fun too. Stamps, stencils, and
25% off.
And 25% off. You can't go wrong.
Can't beat a sale.
That's right.
All right then. We'll see you next week.
Bye.